Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kerry and we are going to be diving into a little comparison video today and testing out the new W7 Sherbet Pop palette. So W7 have done it again. They have done a dupe of another expensive palette and I don't know how they're getting away with it, but when I saw this on Instagram I was like, the packaging looks beautiful. So do the shades inside, even though they are extremely similar to the Natasha Denona pastel palette. So let's dive into some close-ups, swatches and swatch comparisons, and then I'll stick this new W7 Sherbet Pop palette on my eyes.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh.
Okay guys, so on the top we have got the W7 Sherbet Pop palette and on the bottom is the Natasha Denona pastel palette, and there was 3 extra shades in the W7 Sherbet Pop, so I put them, I couldn't fit them anywhere else, on my palm. They're just sort of neutrally type shades. They didn't swatch the best, especially this one here. I'm not sure how well you're seeing this one, but they're the extra 3 shades from the W7. The rest of them more or less coincide with each other really nicely. They've obviously tried to do exact dupes, and on the whole I think it's pretty impressive. Especially these 2 shimmers look super nice, the pink and the teal from the W7, and they've tried to make them the same. They do look very similar. All of the shades I'd say look extremely similar. There's none that jump out at me and I think that's totally different. The pinks are a slightly different tone. The shimmers swatched and felt so much better with the Natasha Denona side. The pigment from the pastel mattes was also a lot better, which you would expect because it's such a high price point from Natasha Denona. But if you're on a budget or you just wanted to pick up the W7 palette, this is the comparison between the two. I don't think it's that dissimilar. I don't think it's that much of a difference and it's that bad. I think both look really pretty, but having swatched them and seeing them in person, the Natasha Denona swatches are definitely better. They definitely went on with one swipe compared to the W7 that had to be built up a little bit. But yeah, this is the comparison between the two. So as you can see, the shades inside are extremely similar. It's very difficult to show you with this sort of mirrored packaging on the W7 palette, but a lot of the W7 palettes I've tried have had quite good quality for the price. This palette retails for £9.95, which is not a bad price at all for the shades you are getting. If these are good quality, that could be a little bargain. Now the Natasha Denona pastel palette, I can't actually remember the price off the top of my head or if you can even buy it anymore, but that information should be on screen and in the description box. So there is quite a difference with the price points of these palettes. However, W7 have literally laid it out exactly the same, but they do have some extra shades, I believe. So the W7 has 18 shades and I think the Natasha Denona has 15 shades. So they've added some extra shades in, but I mean, it's more or less the same colour story and layout. Looking at them, I feel like the Natasha Denona one is more true pastel, and this one, the tones in it, although pastel, some of them aren't as pastel as what they are in the Natasha Denona palette. Now I do have a comparison video already between this Natasha Denona palette and the BH, is it Lost in Los Angeles palette, the pastel one? So I was comparing those, so I will link that if you're interested in seeing that one. But let's get into sticking this one on my eyes and see if it's good quality. I do love pastel shades, like I have quite a lot in my collection and I know what makes a good pastel, and I do tend to pack with pastels rather than blend, which you will see, and that just helps with the pigment because the type of shadow that they are when they're a pastel, they can be easily blended away. But I do struggle with all pastel palettes because unless I'm in the mood and it's like spring, summer, I do like depth in a look, and the deepest shade in this palette looks to be the purple, which is the same as the Natasha Denona, But is it going to translate like this on the eye? That's what I want to be testing. And is it going to give me enough depth for what I'm wanting? Because I feel like the Natasha Denona one didn't. I feel like the purple in the Natasha Denona palette that's meant to be the deepest shade definitely didn't translate on the eye how it is in the pan. It looked lighter on the eye. I am just priming with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. Everything will be linked in the description box that I'm using today, and some of those links are affiliated links, so if you do shop through those, thank you for supporting my channel. Okay, so we're going to start out with that purple shade, which is called Dreamy, and I am going to be popping that in the outer corner just to see what sort of pigment we're going to get from it. Is it going to be the same shade as it is in the pan when it is on the eye? So, okay, I'm actually quite impressed with how that went on straight away, but like I say, I am kind of just packing, and I wouldn't say this one was a real pastel, it's kind of a muted purpley tone, and that is looking really pretty actually. I do really like a lot of W7 palettes, not the ones that are dupes of the Too Faced. I don't think they're the best quality, but the dupe of the Love Tahiti by Be Perfect is a fantastic quality palette. As I am actually filming this right now, I haven't done the swatches and the comparisons, so you know more than I do right now, but I'm really liking how this purple is building up. It definitely is a little bit buildable, which I'm happy with. Is it exactly the same as in the pan? Let's have a look. Is it translating exactly the same? It's so difficult with this mirrored packaging to show you, honestly. And I did also use, for blush today, the W7 Peachy Beach blush, because I really wanted the Benefit blush, and this is the dupe of it, but the Benefit ones are quite expensive. And obviously I had to get the orange shade. It looks like this. I didn't pack loads on today. It's not blinding in your face. I am going out later to have my nails done, and I just wanted a little bit of something peachy on the cheek, and I do quite like it, but obviously I can't compare it to the Benefit one because I don't own the Benefit one. That is building up beautifully, and it looks like it's going to blend out like a dream. I am impressed with that shade. I'm going to take that a little bit onto the lower lash line as well and just wrap it around. I might not put lashes on today. Generally, if I'm doing a pastel look, I don't tend to put lashes on. And also, if I have to put sunglasses on, because it's actually quite sunny in the UK today, and I've got lashes on, it just hits the sunglasses. Like, even just people that wear glasses will know how annoying that is. So if you've got any recommendations for really good lashes that don't hit sunglasses or glasses if you're wearing them, that would be great. Then I'm just going to go around the very edges of that purple with the pink shade that is called Fruity, and it's up here. Again, sorry about the awful reflective packaging. I really don't like it when brands do that, especially when it, like this, the packaging from W7, although it looks really pretty, it does feel a bit on the cheap side, but I mean, for the price, you can't really complain. I'm just going to start packing, not blendy swipey motions, packing that pink just on the edges of that purple. And then I will go back in with the purple to make sure the blend into the pink is how I want it to be. But again, when working with pastels, just packing. I feel like Dory, instead of just keep swimming, just keep packing. That is a beautiful, soft pink shade. And just subtle and nice. I didn't want it too in your face, it was just to blend out the purple a little bit, and I think it's doing exactly what I want it to do. Back into the bubble, just to make sure this blend is looking how I want it to be, and then we'll dive into some more of the mattes. Toward the inner corner, I'm thinking the mint. I'm looking at the mint and I'm like, although there's a green and a really nice sky blue. Oh, the choices, guys, the choices. I feel like that's looking nice and soft and diffused. I might come back to it a little bit later and work on the blend. I don't know what I want to go in with next, because this green looks beautiful. So does this blue, and so does this mint. Okay, I'm going to go into the blue, and I'm going to go into Frozen, which is this gorgeous sky blue shade here. It is a beautiful looking pastel. I'm going to see how this packs on and leads into the purple. Wow, okay. For a W7 affordable palette, that pastel is not bad, but I'm just packing, as I say, not blendy swipey motions. That is quite impressive. £9.95. Maybe we'll pop the green on the lower lash line. Maybe that could be fun. But I have powdered under here, so I don't know how it's going to show up and whether it's going to pop the same. And obviously using a white base with pastels will definitely make it pop more, and a tacky base, which is not what is happening under my eye, but I still feel like you can see the green quite well. I think if I'd have popped it onto a tacky primer, it definitely would have shown up a bit more, and especially on a white primer. And maybe I'll just go into a little bit of the mint, just to pop that on the inner corner and to just see what that shade looks like. Oh, that is a beautiful mint shade. Oh yeah, that could have been nice all over the lid. So now it's time for shimmers, and like I say, I haven't actually swatched this as I'm filming this right now, so I don't know which ones are better than others, if they're all super good, if they're all going to be rubbish, who knows. What should we go for? I'm thinking sprinkles, which is this one here, into Delicious, because that looks like a different formula of shimmer. These two at the top, Sprinkles and Sweet, look a little bit different pressed in the pan compared to the rest of the shimmers, so I definitely want to test out as many as I can. So I'm going to start out with Sprinkles and then go into Delicious. Okay, I have sprayed my brush just because I don't really want any fallout, so I'm just going to pop this toward the inner corner area and see how this goes on. I am using a referral brush, which is goat's hair. And we'll see how this is. Okay. It's going on a bit patchy. Let's try and spread that out a little bit. Obviously, I think going in with your finger would be the best with this, but because I'm doing sort of the inner part and I've got long nails, kind of want to... It'd be nice if you worked. I kind of want to avoid doing that. I can do that with the next shade, but this one I'm going to have to pop on with a brush. Yeah, can you see that? It's going on a little bit flaky and a little bit patchy looking. Let's see if I can pack some more on and sort of disguise this. No, this one's looking a little bit better now, but this one looks very patchy and dodgy, and I don't usually have an issue when I apply shimmers on top of my eyeshadow base and a little bit of the mattes from a palette, so that's a little bit annoying, and I feel like maybe they'll break up in the crease then, if that is what is happening already. And the shimmers in the Natasha Denona palette are absolutely stunning, so that's a little bit disappointing that it's applied like that. Can you see? I've zoomed you in a little bit more, so hopefully you can see what's going on here. And I'm going to go in with my finger into Delicious in the hope that that might work a little bit better. So that's what it's looking like. I'm just going to pop that next to that minty shade. That's going on so much nicer. And that has got sort of a bluey reflect to it. It's like a purple with a blue, and it is so nice. So nice for an affordable palette. Wow. Okay, I like that a lot. I don't know, maybe I went in with too much product and that's why it went on a little bit chunky. I'm not quite sure. I think if I'd have gone in with my finger, if I'd have been able to in that area at the front, it wouldn't have looked as bad. It's looking a little bit better now. A little bit. Yeah, maybe that one's... I'm getting fallout. Maybe that one's just a little bit more difficult to work with the formula that is the top two, which is Sprinkles and Sweet. But look at those shimmers on the lid together. Like, that is really, really pretty. Back into the purple matte, just to tap over this edge. Keep some depth. I mean, not that it's the depth that I'm used to, but I feel like it's still a nice contrast, and I definitely want to brighten up that inner corner with something. So the lightest looking shimmer in the palette is called Refreshing, and it is this one here. So I'm going to go in with that for the inner corner. And I have sprayed this one as well, and I'm just going to pop that right there. And see if it... That's not impressive. Well... Oh. Let me swatch this one. I mean, it looks impressive on the finger. It's like a white with a pink iridescent sheen. Like, why not on the eye? That is not impressive on the eye. That looks a little bit powdery and weird to me. Okay. That was very impressive when I swatched it on my finger, but I don't know why it's not translating like that on the eye, especially when I've sprayed it. So I'm going to go into, what's this called? Sunny Days, which is, it'd be helpful if you could see it. This one here. Let's see if that does anything on top. I mean, that's a little bit more reflective than what I was expecting. Let's give this one a good spray. I just don't think these work very well with a brush. I think that is my findings. Like I'm some sort of makeup scientist. That is literally just taken off all of my makeup on the inner corner. Okay, just popping a bit more of that mint shade down just to cover up the monstrosity that was under there. Honestly, guys, I've not really had that before. Like, that had literally taken off all the makeup. I just don't think these shimmers are happy. Maybe it's that they're not happy to be sprayed. Maybe it's they're not happy to be on a brush. That was a bit disappointing. I'm really enjoying this matte inner corner right now though. I'm just going to leave it like this because I don't want to destroy the inner corner of my makeup. Like I said, I do have to go out for a nail appointment, so I don't really want to start everything all over again right now. But this is how we're looking right now. Let me do a little bit more blending, a little bit more finessing, stick on some mascara and a lip, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is the finished look. I didn't go in with lashes, I just went in with mascara. My own lashes aren't the absolute best, but I really like how this look has come together. Let me tell you the extra things that I used. So I did use the lip liner, which is the MUA lip liner in Heartfelt, and the lipstick is the Beauty Bay lipstick in the shade Tea, and I did go in my waterline with the Colourpop cream gel liner in Prance. I really like how it's come together. I'm happy that I'm going out of the house like this today. I think the colours on the lid are speaking to me beautifully. The way it goes from the mint to the blue to the purple. The shimmers look so beautiful, but if you get up close, there's a little bit of sort of breaking up already because I was having issues near that inner corner anyway. Let me zoom you in so you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Right on the inner corner area, just in here and in here, like the little bits are breaking up already, which is a little bit sad, and I'm not sure if that is because I sprayed the brush, it didn't like the primer, whether I should have gone in with my finger, like, I don't know, but that doesn't happen to me, like, at all really, which is a bit of a shame because the one that I applied with my finger, that purple has gone on beautifully. It doesn't look like it's breaking up, anything like that. Yeah, it's literally just that inner corner area and going just onto the lid, just that front portion that is breaking up a little bit. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, whether that was something I did or whether that is something to do with the palette, but I really do like, from a distance, overall how this look has come together. I do think, for the price, I think it's absolutely amazing what you're getting in this palette. Although the shimmers are a little bit more difficult to work with, I do feel like for £9.95 you're more or less getting the Natasha Denona palette. Now the shimmers in the Natasha Denona, even the mattes, like the quality is higher, but you are paying an extremely high price point, especially for the packaging as well. So I feel like if you never wanted to pick that up because of the price tag or you just missed out on it, anything like that, this could be a very good alternative. I'd just say try and use your finger for the shimmers. If you haven't got super long nails like me, you'd be able to use your finger more near the inner corner. Just be a little bit careful with some of the shades. See if you find the same thing as me if you're planning on picking it up. But overall, I'm actually quite impressed with the mattes. It's not the easiest to create a pastel, like Morphe did not do that well. I decluttered the Morphe pastel palette, I can't remember what that's called now, but that was not good. These are good quality pastels. The mattes in this that I have used today, I'm impressed with. I'm excited to use it some more. I feel like as long as you pack and not blend and swipe away all of the colour, the pigment's there, it looks beautiful, and on a tacky base would be best, and definitely on a white base if you're wanting the most maximum payoff from the shades. Let me know, guys, is this tempting to you for the price? I mean, for me, I couldn't resist. I know I have the Natasha Denona pastels, but if I can get a cheaper dupe of it and then save that one and not use it as much, then... And of course, I like to review things for you on YouTube, compare things. I'd say definitely I would, if I had to pick one of these to use and I had to go out somewhere on a nice spring picnic, something like that, and I needed it to look nice all day long, I would be choosing the Natasha Denona because that didn't give me any issues with any of the shimmers or the mattes. This one, now I'm going to have to work out what on earth went wrong near the inner corner, but all in all, like, the shimmers do look absolutely stunning for the price. I can't believe that purpley blue shimmer Even the mint matte, absolutely amazing quality for the price. That shade, Refreshing though, that didn't really translate on the inner corner like I was hoping. I think if you apply that with your finger and you put it all over the lid, it will look beautiful. But putting it on the brush and me trying to put it on my inner corner, it wasn't giving me what I was hoping it was going to be giving me. That mint shade though, absolutely gorgeous. So hopefully I've given you some idea of what this palette is like if you was considering picking it up, if you was umming and ahhing about it, or if you're just nosy and want to know what the quality is like, because I love to do that, watch YouTube videos, even if I'm not planning on buying the palette. And definitely people that want to dupe the shades, and there are a lot of good pastel palettes now. I really did enjoy the P. Louise one. I've got a video using that on my channel. That is a full pastel palette. The Beauty Bay pastels are really good quality. And now I would say this W7 palette on the whole is good quality, just some of the shades are a little bit more finicky to work with. I'd say that it's the shimmers. It's the shimmers I'm talking about. I'm not going to blame the mattes. The mattes I used today were good. So guys, please do let me know what you think to this look. Are you going to be picking up this palette? What do you think to W7 as a whole, duping expensive brands? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should they stop? Should they get in trouble? Should they continue? Let me know. Let's discuss it in the comments down below. And hopefully guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!